With Blade Runner 2049 hitting theaters this weekend, fans will finally get to see the highly acclaimed sci-fi sequel for themselves. But the film doesn't just have stunning visuals, that our critic calls the elevation of mainstream movie making to high art, and the return of Rick Deckard. It also was host to a behind-the-scenes bromance between its stars and creative team. By all accounts, this was a particularly harmonious set, but while combing through previous interviews with Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford, and director Denis Villeneuve, we found some particularly choice words that were uttered during production and after. Here's some of our favorites. Ryan Gosling on meeting Harrison Ford for the first time: "They say never meet your heroes, but the addendum to that is unless they're Harrison Ford. He's even cooler than you'd expect. Harrison didn't start working until a month into production, so we were working without him, and imagining what that might be like and waiting for that moment for him. Then he arrives on a day when we were shooting, on a day where it was, let's say, atmospheric. Lots of mist and fog. So you couldn't see who was shooting, and all you could see were these silhouettes in the mist. I'd heard that Harrison was on set and was going to come say hello, and so for a half a day we were squinting at silhouettes to see if one of them was Harrison. Then when it was him, you couldn't miss it," he laughs. "And after all that build-up, it was such a relief. We just got to work on sharing time with Harrison Ford in a hot tub." Without getting into too much detail, Harrison and I spent a few weeks in a water tank, and we'd have to stay warm in a hot tub between takes. If someone told me I'd one day be sitting in a hot tub fully clothed talking to Harrison Ford, just chatting it up, I would have said I doubt it, he laughs. He's so funny. One night we were in the tub, and I said, "Harrison, where did you get your sense of humor, your mom or your dad?" He said, "I got it from Sears. And they were closing, so I didn't have a lot of time. I couldn't shop around." On Harrison Ford's acting style: then you hang out with him, and you realize all those iconic moments from his films that you love, he wrote, like, "I Love You." I know from Star Wars or shooting that guy in Indiana Jones, and he's just like that all the time. It's just really incredible to work with. Normally I'd say there are hundreds of ways to play any scene. Unless you work with Harrison, and you realize there's only one great way, and he's figured it out. Harrison Ford on Ryan Gosling: "He's a really terrific actor whose work I have admired for quite some time," says Ford. "When I first read the script, he immediately came to mind that he play his character, LAPD Agent K. I'm delighted to say that he's also as pleasant and interesting fellow and actor as I'd imagined he might be. He's been an absolute delight." Harrison Ford on why he reprised the role of Rick Deckard, the original Blade Runner, was 50 Nights in the Man-Made Rain in the backlot of Warner Brothers. But I came to appreciate it over the years. When this was proposed, my questions all concerned the script, and when I saw it, I was interested. Questions were answered in a way that encouraged me to a part of it. And then Denis' sets are a real pleasure, so focused, so organized. It was really very simple for me to enjoy it. And no, I was not as wet. I've had a really good time working with Ryan and Denis. Denis Villeneuve on Ryan Gosling: "Ryan has the movie on his shoulders. He's in almost every single frame of the movie, and he gave us a stunning and impressive performance. It was just like pleasure, an embarrassment of riches in the editing room. I owe him a lot, and for two reasons. First, the amount of inspiration that he brought. He was my muse in this movie. Great spirits were very important because it was a long shoot. His friendship and great spirits and energy were just so meaningful for me. I was able to do this movie, because he was there with me. To see his smile in the morning? Ryan Gosling has one of the most fantastic smiles. When Ryan Gosling smiles, the camera melts. His goodwill and strength just meant the world to me. I owe him a lot, and so does the movie." Ryan Gosling on Denis Villeneuve: "First let me say this about Denis. If you made a list of all the characteristics you hoped for in a director, and you sent it to Santa Claus, there'd be a Denis Villeneuve under your tree Christmas morning. It might be a little drunk on eggnog, but he would be there. He's a wonderful person to work with, and so obviously I was excited by the opportunity to work with him, and the combination of him and cinematographer Roger Deakins was too much to pass up.